Hey Megan and Ryan, this is Max Clausen, and I wanted to share with you a market analysis that I did for your house on Easter Avenue. And what I do to come up with a market analysis, I go to the county website and I pull up your address, and that gives me all of the vital statistics of the house as far as the square footage, lot size, beds, baths, all of that information that I would need to determine which house sales are comparable to yours. So at any time during this video, you can pause the video and take a closer look at any of the data that's on the screen if I'm going too quickly. So what I do is once I get this information, I do an MLS search. And I'm looking for comps, and so I'm looking only at two-story houses, not ranches, not tri-levels, not bi-levels, two-story houses within the same geographic area as yours. So when I do that search, I do Arapahoe from basically Yosemite to Quebec. Now there was one other home that came up in this search, but I threw it out because it's backing up right to Quebec, and it sold for 430, 429, and probably a lot of that had to do with it backing to Quebec. So I threw that one out as a comp for yours. So your house is right around in here, and this is Hunters Hill, and this is Walnut Hills. It's kind of an L shape in here, Walnut Hills and Hunters Hill. So there's really two houses that are in Walnut Hills and two that are in Hunters Hill. Let's take a closer look at those. So what I do is I take this data from the MLS and I import it into my own spreadsheet so that I can organize it and find averages and really analyze the data. So we have two active properties, one in Hunters Hill that's active at 660, one in Walnut Hills that's active at 515. If we compare your house with the averages, you have right in there the averages 5.5 bedrooms. It's kind of hard to find really good comps with such a small set of comparables, two, but that's what I have. On average, the above grade square footage compared to yours, finished compared to yours, these are all a little bit larger numbers compared to yours. In the basement, square footage compared to yours. So on average, they are getting 587, or they're asking 587.5. And again, there's a pretty big differential. One of them's at 660 and one's at 515. These are the price per square footage, above grade, the finished price per square foot, and then the total price per square foot. And the lot size, your lot is similar in size, but your lot has nothing to, lacks nothing. It's a really nice size, flat, usable lot. And then this whole area was built in the early 70s. The days on the market, these both went on at the same day, and they've been 15, 16 days on the market. And then the solds. The solds are really what appraisers use because these are real numbers. That is actually the number it sold for. These might be pie in the sky because they're active and haven't sold. But these are real numbers. So appraisers use these, and we can see there's pretty much a large differential between the Hunters Hill and Walnut Hills. Beds, baths, very similar. Now these two that have sold are significantly larger than yours. The above grade square footage is over 500 square feet larger than yours. The finished square foot is about 300 larger than yours, but the overall total square footage is 800 larger than yours. So those are some pretty large, big numbers, differences. The basement, similar. And these, on average, sold for 600. One of them sold for 662, and one of them 537. Days on the market. The one that sold for that large amount was only on the market for 11 days until it went under contract, and this one was 2 months on the market. So what I want to do now, I'm just looking at the raw data. I'm not giving any account for the fixes, how nice things are, locations, anything. I'm just looking at the numbers and comparing the numbers to your numbers. On average, their numbers, and here's your numbers. So now what I'd like to do is go and look at the houses specifically to compare their fixes and their features and their upgrades to yours. Now, I don't know what your upgrades look like, so you're going to have to be the eyes and ears on that one for me. And if you decide that you want to sell your house, then I need to schedule an appointment, come over and see how yours compares to these and any others that I would pull up. So what I want to do first is I want to look at this one on Xanthia and compare how it compares to yours. First of all, it's in Hunters Hill, and then it sold for $662,500. So wood floors, and it's really clean and nice. It looks like this might be new cabinetry. I think it is new cabinetry. But they left the soffit in there. They might have added a can light or so. It has granite countertops and the glass backsplash. Those look like new windows, and this wood butcher block island. So it looks like it has that gunmetal stainless steel, which is pretty popular. There's a missing oven. I can't tell if that's popcorn or not. The painted brick, it's all been redone, and then nice finishes, not extremely nice finishes. This is a $150 Home Depot sink cabinet, and then square 12 by 12 tiles. They add a little glass tile feature in there. It's nice. It's very nice, but it's medium to medium high grade. These lights are pretty inexpensive at Home Depot. So they redid the floors. And again, this one sold for $662,500. This is an upgraded sink, I think, in the master. That's probably the master shower. Has a glass door, and they, made a nice tile feature in there. And then this is probably the secondary bathroom in the upstairs. And again, they did some tile work in there and made it a little bit nicer. It looks like a new tub because it has the sticker on it still. Granite cabinet and a new mirror. It's not just the flat mirror. So that's that house that sold for $662,000. So now what I want to do is I want to compare it to the other house in Hunters Hill, and I think they're using that $662,000 to price this one. This one's at $660,000. And let's look how this one has nicer photos, high definition photos. Wood floors. It looks like, I don't know about the windows, if those were originally wood. I don't think they were. So those windows have been replaced at some time. I'm not sure that they've been replaced recently. They might have been replaced in the 80s or 90s, and they might be 20-year-old windows. But uh, I think I don't know if that's popcorn or not. No, it doesn't look like popcorn because it has a shine to it. So this is the kitchen. It looks, the original soffit around there, an older refrigerator. The backsplash is older, kind of the 80s, 90s. The diamonds in there. And I think these are painted cabinets. They look like they're flat front that have been painted, and they might have put a new countertop on, maybe. But look at the microwave there is sitting in a shelf. The lighting probably isn't people's first choice for kitchen lighting. Flat doors. This one's priced at $660. I think those are newer windows. So the flooring, lots of wood in here. This is the family room. I think that's kind of a bowed window that is a bay window. And it has some paneling, lots of this oak paneling, and that's kind of a personal preference, whether or not some people would really like that. Some people would feel it was dated. This is marble and the sconce lights, so kind of grandma-like, but newer. This light costs about $15, $20 at Home Depot. It's new, but it's nothing to write home about. New lighting, newer, looks like Corian or quartz type, and then an older mirror and an older medicine cabinet. The chair rail around the room, and that kind of a strange light fixture. This is, I think that's that same bathroom. The basement, it's kind of a distortion lens here. You can see it really shrunk the foosball table and really extended the distance. It's probably not nearly as big of a room as it looks. Same here. These lights are pretty old-fashioned. And it's dated. It's gold and honey oak and Corian countertop. A really nice big backyard, very similar to yours. Big and very useful space. The covered patio is nice, similar to yours. Looks like they haven't cleaned out the gutters. I kind of remember, I think I cleaned out your gutters, didn't I? Isn't that funny? I have such useless information in my head. So that's that house, and that's for sale currently, active at $660. So now let's look at Hunter's Hill. There's the one that sold for $537 on Getty's. This one actually sold, and the number is 537. And again, let's look at its features and how it compares to yours. So there's the front. Looks very similar to yours. I'm looking at the popcorn. I can't tell if it's popcorn. The fan is pretty basic. It does have wood floors in a lot of the main level. Pretty original looking cabinetry to me is its flat front. The stove, that one had that missing stove, and this one has a really nice, I think that's a stove microwave combination. So this one's sold at $537. And so it's kind of a mix in. It looks like a mix in the kitchen as far as the cabinetry looks original, but there's a newer window and the countertops and the backsplash, and the appliances look pretty decent. So this is the range hood or the stovetop hood. There's the granite on older cabinets. I believe they're older, and then the flat door is very similar to one of the other ones. Oak flooring. A fireplace surround that lots of natural wood. I can't tell if it's popcorn. I don't know. The laundry. This is right up against the backyard, and then there's the gas, the electric, and probably the drain right there. The laundry room. This might be the main level bathroom, kind of dated. Main entrance, wood floors. Master probably looks like newer windows. Master again. This is the master bath, I would guess. Dated with this light bar, laminate countertops, and older cabinet. Looks like they updated from original gold. It looks like the trim rings around the lights are still gold, but this is silver, along with the shower door is silver, or the bath door. Master closet. I'm not sure if that's a secondary bedroom. Same pictures before. Basement with some can lights and looks like newer carpet. And the backyard looks like it's really nice size, but it slopes away somewhat. There's that retaining wall in there, so it's not totally useful and flat like yours, but it looks like it's pretty big, and it definitely has usable space. So that is the one that sold for $537. It was on for $554, and then it sold for $537. And then we'll look at this last one that is actually active and for sale at $515. So this one is at $515. It's on Easter Place. Looks similar to yours from the front, from the street. Kind of dated. This almost looks like wallpaper to me. And it does have popcorn on the ceiling. Kind of weird to have a office desk chair and the piano covered with something. The chair rail around the dining room. This one's at $515. It's weird to have acoustic tile drop ceiling in the kitchen. They have the soffits still in place, but they have the weird acoustic office tile in this kitchen, and then the microwave's on the counter, so a really dated original kitchen. They just put some granite countertops and put a nice range in there, maybe a nice dishwasher, but it looks like it has a big dent in it maybe right there. I don't know. But that fluorescent lighting system is very industrial in a bad way. This is the family room right off the kitchen. A bedroom. Looks like it's the master bedroom with a bathroom in the suite. A dated bathroom, 12 by 12 tile. Looks like an older window. missing a light bulb, and then they got a curly little CFL light bulb. It's pretty weird. Not a lot of effort. There's popcorn ceiling, pretty in pink. Just these bare bulb lamps. It just doesn't show well, stuff like that. And then, there's some more missing light bulbs, and then another CFL. And more of the drop ceiling in the basement, and the chair rail and the wainscoting, just kind of not super desirable. This looks like, I don't know, it looks like 80s, but it also could be fluorescent, which is just feels like you're at the office all the time. Dated basement bath. This one's at $515. Basement. So it has a nice big yard, but it backs to a bunch of power lines. Really nice big yard and a lot of power lines. So that's kind of a turnoff for some people. But it's a big yard. So there you go. You've seen all of them, and maybe you can come up with how they compare to yours. If you want me to do a more detailed evaluation of yours, I need to stop by for a visit so I can compare your features and remodeling and updating compared to those that are on the market and compared to those that have recently sold.